change is the only constant in cybersecurity. People that are curious really do very well when they're ready to continue learning about something new. My name is Melanie Thomas. I am the Vice President of Cybersecurity for Bridgepointe Technologies. I'm also an adjunct professor at USD's Cybersecurity Operations and Leadership Program. So I got my master's degree because I didn't have any hands-on real security experience yet. I was in software and IT, and that's kind of is in support desk, right? But I didn't have any security. So I thought, well, to get into security, I should probably do my master's degree. And that kind of, even though I don't have hands-on experience, it shows that I have the drive to get my education in it. And you start learning more about pieces of cybersecurity that you didn't know existed before. And that's one of the glorious things about higher education in general, is that especially if you haven't had exposure to a lot of these skills or a lot of these verticals. So the roles that we're seeing the most demand for are absolutely those roles that are cloud security architects, so cloud architecture and engineering. We are seeing the need absolutely for security operations center analysts and threat hunters in the defense side. When companies are increasingly going to AI, we're seeing the need for AI, especially with relation to security and threat intelligence. The OT and ICS security engineer is one thing that is traditional and has been a long-standing need outside of what we're seeing as far as AI and emerging technologies. But OT or operational technology and ICS for our critical infrastructure industries are absolutely needed because those are a different kind of skill set. It's usually overlooked because it's not the most popular, right, most shiny thing that people want to do, but it is critical infrastructure and it is a different set of tools and skills that those kinds of engineers and specialists would need. If there's any requirement to be in cybersecurity, a requirement is growth mindset and the willingness and drive to continue learning. And whether that results in more certifications in higher education degrees, ideally, right, that continues to progress. And so for those who have found a love for security and cybersecurity, and you do want that C-level position, right, you want to start your own consulting, you want to start your own company, having a master's degree behind you is absolutely going to help make sure that you get there. You're still going to have to do the hard work for it, but right, that's going to help you open those doors. That's going to help people and companies trust you more, that you have, right, put a lot of the work behind it and that you're willing to progress. In many companies, having a bachelor's degree or master's degree is a minimum requirement to apply and get those positions in the first place. So in some cases, you're checking boxes. In other cases, you're doing it because you want to. I would not have gotten my position in my first cybersecurity company had I not been already working on my master's in cybersecurity. I came from IT and software before, but the way I was able to get my foot in the door at my cybersecurity company was as a project coordinator. And sometimes you start where you can start and get your foot in the door. And even as a project coordinator, the only way that I was able to rank higher than other people who were applying is because I was already working on my master's in cybersecurity. So that absolutely opened the door. And since then, of course, I achieved it since then, absolutely opens the door for other companies that are trying to recruit you, right? You get hit up a lot on LinkedIn just because you have some of these foundational items in there. And so it's always good to see, right, that people are trying to recruit you and people need people with that kind of experience. But achieving your master's degree in cybersecurity may be one of the biggest things to get your foot in the door, and you're ranking higher above other applicants because you're already showing that initial drive and dedication to the industry. Even though I didn't have any previous cybersecurity experience, I was able to be hired at my first cybersecurity job above others who were already experienced in the industry because I was completing my master's degree in cybersecurity.